I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time and this isn't going to be a regular thing. I just wanted to come on here and say how I've been feeling, and that hopefully with ending on a positive note with this towards the end of the video, just saying, well, in this video, just in general, adding bits in that have helped me that I hope would also help you, and that if you can relate to anything that I'm saying, just to take note of the things that have helped me, and to perhaps you're already doing them yourselves or you haven't tried it, and to try it just because, yeah, I just want to try and help. And yeah, so last summer was one of the hardest times for me mentally, and I'm sure there are times within this whole pandemic that you've also really struggled with. And it's been a tough time. So I got to a point where I really didn't see my life changing. I didn't see the point of really continuing with life when nothing was going my way. It was all very unknown and life was just really tough. We went from, well, lockdown first started at the end of March. That was just after my birthday last year. I remember being able to go to London, having a great birthday celebration with my friends, and then we went into lockdown at the end of March. I found it all right at the beginning, and I actually found myself really quite enjoying it. It was chilled. I was working from home. I could be in my joggers every day, and it was fine. And then a couple of months down the line, oh, it's snowing again. A couple of months down the line, it got to probably about June, and I started to really struggle with my mental health, because it'd been now, it was getting worse. We couldn't really see an end to all of this, and the weeks kept going by and the news was getting worse, and it was really tough. And I just remember not knowing what to do. I had nothing. I couldn't see my friends or family because we were told to stay at home, and like we are now, still only going out for essentials. We had all these different tier systems and full-on lockdown, and which we've had numerous times now, and it's just been really hard. I ended up actually, because of the lack of control, or the feel of lack of control in my life, and that I couldn't do anything that I wanted to do or see anybody that I wanted to see, seeing those that we love. And I ended up controlling the amount I was exercising and the amount I was eating. I would exercise and book in slots at the gym, because the gym was still open at this time and you could book slots to go to, and I was booking slots a couple of times a day to go to the gym and just spend 45 minutes or an hour on the treadmill, sometimes even longer. And my fridge is making a weird noise. And it just, more recently actually, I've realised how unhealthy that all was. I was controlling what I was eating. If I wasn't exercising, my food would go out the window and I'd be eating fast food, so much junk, chocolate, crisps, fizzy drinks. And then as soon as I was exercising loads again, I would be controlling and limiting what I'm eating. And it just, looking back at it now, it was really unhealthy. I'm still not recovered from it all. I still am going through on a daily basis, telling myself that I don't need to do that and it's not benefiting me, but it's obviously easier said than done. And those that obviously have been through it themselves, or been through sort of any issues regarding exercise and food, I'm either all or nothing. I exercise and eat really healthily, or limit what I'm eating and when I'm eating and how much I'm eating, or I will not exercise and eat anything and everything in sight. And that has seemed to be since sort of summer last year. when this all sort of started, when I just felt lack of control in my life. And yeah, it's just, I started also weighing myself. I lost 1.5 stone in weight in quite a short space of time. Went to the doctors, found out I was anemic after quite a few blood tests, because I started fainting and feeling really weak. I started struggling with my exercise. It was all getting a bit much, and the doctors prescribed me with iron tablets, which I have to take 3 times a day, because I was had a massive iron deficiency. I haven't had blood tests since, but they have put me on for at least 6 months worth of tablets. And it kind of just hit me, and obviously iron deficiency is such a common thing, but it did kind of hit me as to how I've never been anemic before. And it was something that really, even though it's a minimal thing and something that's easily changed with tablets, it was just, I thought, actually I'm really damaging my body with the things that I'm doing, with over exercising, with overeating, with undereating. All of those things is just doing more harm than good. So if you need the feel to control something, just make sure it's benefiting your life and not affecting it, because it will then slowly affect your mental health as well, which it massively did with me. Gratitude and journaling is something that and meditation actually has really helped me in the past couple of weeks. It's something that's really recent to me. I never have done any of this before. Gratitude is just writing a list, whether you write 1 thing a day, whether you write 5 things a day, it's completely up to you. But writing just the little things that you're grateful for. Obviously at this time in our lives, there's some of us, like me, may feel, well, what is there for me to be grateful for right now? My life is being controlled by someone else, and I can't do anything. I can't see those that I love. I can't get out my house apart from to do a food shop. So what is there to be grateful for? But actually, you're wrong. There is so much to be grateful for. And not even the big things like our health and being able to put food on our plates and living in a warm house. It's not those things, it's the little things. Obviously we're grateful for the big things, but the little things, like being able to sit and have a cup of tea for 5 minutes and relax in the morning, being able to have a relaxing bath in the evening, or have time to read your book, or a phone call with friends and family. Those are all the things to be grateful for. And if you write down a list as often as you'd like, whether you do it morning and evening, whether you do it once a day or once a week, it's completely obviously up to you and how many you write down. But it's massively helped me, and so I just wanted to share that. Meditation as well is another thing that has massively helped me. I never believed in meditation, didn't even know what it was. I thought it was a waste of time. And since starting meditating, I did some guided meditation on YouTube. And I never talk this much. I live on my own, but no one to talk to. It makes me cough. Yeah, so I started doing some guided meditation. So 10, 15, 20 minute ones on YouTube. They're so easy to find, depending on how you feel. If you're feeling anxious, you can type in guided meditation for anxiety. There are so many out there. You just lie in a comfortable position. I just lie on my bed with my eyes shut and I just listen to what they're saying. And it gives you that release. One day I listened to meditation and I cried for 10 minutes. And then the following day I woke up 2 hours later. I was clearly very tired. It gives you what you need, and I would highly recommend trying it. Even if you try it and you hate it, but please try it if you haven't already, because it's hugely helped me during this horrible time. And yeah, journaling as well, writing down how you feel, getting the old-fashioned notebook and pen out, and just putting that pen to the paper and writing in that moment of how you feel. It may make you smile, it may make you cry, it may make you angry, but it's such a good release of emotion, and I cannot recommend it enough. I take it with me to work. I take it in my car so that I can write on my breaks if I feel up to it, and then I have it at home as well, and write in the evenings or first thing in the morning if I just need a release of emotion. And it's really, really good. And if it makes you cry, it makes you cry. And something again that I've learned recently is crying is not a sign of weakness. And I never really thought about it like that. I always thought that, you know, it was weakness. I'm crying and I can't deal with my emotions. But crying is a way of dealing with your emotions. Crying, letting it out rather than keeping it all inside, because that's only going to do more harm than good. It's not benefiting you in a positive way if you don't let out your emotions. And I have so many things that I haven't dealt with in the past and that I'm slowly going through now. Even things like losing my friend Sam to suicide. It's been 7 years and I haven't dealt with it. I still think about him nearly every day, and I never dealt with it at the time. And I'm now struggling with the little things now because of the larger things that I haven't dealt with in my past. So if you can try before it's too late to change your thought process, let your emotions out, then it will honestly massively benefit you, because it has me. Also, the frustration of living alone and not being able to see an end to this whole situation is really, really hard. I also can understand it is hard if you live with family, your children, your partner, friends, that being with someone 24/7 is a challenge. But I also will emphasize for those that live, I really feel for those that live on their own. I've massively struggled waking up in the morning on my own and getting home from work on my own, or finishing work when I used to work from home, and just being on my own all day, every day. And yes, that was the case before this pandemic. I was living on my own, but I was able to go out at weekends, go evenings at the pub or for dinner with a friend, have a movie night with a friend in the evening, and go out for work and go to work together the next day. I was able to do all those things beforehand, and now having that all taken away from me made me really, really struggle. And others breaking the rules as well is also a massive thing. I've unfollowed so many accounts on Instagram because of the negative effects it's having on me and my mental state. And I would definitely urge you guys to do the same thing. Remove, unfollow. I went from following over 1,000 accounts to now down to 200, and it's changed my life, because I don't see any of the negative stuff or the things that I don't want to see anymore. All these body image posts and these before and after photos of 30-day challenges that people are doing, all these fitness pages that I was following, I've removed it all. And in that short space of time, it's only been a couple of weeks, I feel so much better in myself because of it. And the people that are living a normal life, those people in different countries where their rules are more relaxed than what ours are, and seeing them living a normal life, remove it. You don't need to see that, and it will only affect you negatively, trust me. And social media is such a, I just have no words for it, to be honest. It's great because we have contact and a way of communication with friends, but if you have their number, just give them a call instead, because honestly, you don't need to be scrolling through. I spend way too much time scrolling through Instagram on a daily basis, and Facebook not so much. Twitter I never use, but Instagram is a killer, and it's not needed. And the sooner you can realize that, the easier your life will become mentally. I also realized that I wasn't facing my problems and my issues. I was using things like one-to-one dance as a distraction, and I only realized that when I was told that. And it's hard because we didn't expect the situation to happen. We didn't expect to feel the way that we feel, and it's been such a challenging time for so many of us. And I don't really know what else to say about it, just that I kept using things as a distraction to get away from how I was actually feeling, and I just couldn't do that anymore. I still do dance every week. I absolutely love it. It's changed my life. I am not a dancer, never will be a dancer, but it's something that's fun and it's one of the highlights of my week. But I never realised that I was using it at the beginning as a distraction from my life and what was going on inside my head. Again, thinking of things that are going on inside people's heads, the suicide rate has increased massively. I lost a friend 7 years ago to suicide, and he was one of the closest people in my life at the time. And I just can't, you just never know what anyone's going through. And the power of your words can really affect someone. And it's so tough. I can't even find the words for it. He was the nicest person. He was the happiest person. He made me laugh on a daily basis. Not having him in my life anymore is so hard. I miss him so much. And I really, really urge you all to be kind to people, because your words could push someone over the edge. I'm recently also learning to be kind to myself as well, because we're going through a lot right now. Life isn't easy, and life is not easy at all, and we just need to be kind to ourselves, because this isn't a time that any of us expected. But also, as it's so easy to care and be there for other people and ask them how they are, but just take a minute whenever you're watching this video, after you finish watching it, this evening, tomorrow morning, whenever, take that time, a couple of minutes, just to ask yourself how you are. Whether you write it down, your feelings, whether you say it out loud, whether you let yourself cry, smile, whatever your emotions are, let them out, and just spend a couple of minutes or do a guided meditation, whatever you want to do, but just spending that time asking yourself how you are, because you just, it's a tough time. My fridge just started making a weird noise then. So anyway, I'm going to end this video because it's getting a bit long now, but I just wanted to say that we're all in the same boat. There are some that are thriving through this, and there are some that are really, really struggling. But just make sure that you're there for yourself more than anyone right now, and check in on your friends. Message them, send them a funny GIF or a funny video, just to show people that you're there for them, and you'll find that people do the same to you, because it works. Love works both ways, and I have noticed that recently, that there is no point caring and sharing your love for those that don't return it. If they don't bother and they can't be bothered with you, why should you waste your time and energy and love on those that don't care back? So just make sure you're spreading your love to those that need it and those that will appreciate it. And yeah, that's literally all I've got to say. I'm sorry that I got upset, but like I say, emotions are valid and we should let them out when we need to. I'll probably do some meditation now, and as I feel like I need a release. But thank you for listening. I hope that everyone's okay. Feel free to drop me a message if you want to chat, want to rant, anything. I'm always here for as many people as possible. And yeah, just go and give yourself some time whenever you're watching this. Give yourself some time to just be kind to yourself. And yeah, spread the love. Lots of love. Mwah.